This is a great dish to make for when you're in a hurry. It's a loaded baked potato with broccoli, cheese and bacon with a crumble topping. It's quick and easy to make and it's delicious too, and I'm going to show you how to make it now. The items to make this dish are available from creamline.co.uk. So not only are they delivered to your door, but they're delivered as fresh as possible because they're sourced from the local market, and that's why they look and taste as good as they do. So let me show you how we're going to make this recipe for 4 people using the following ingredients. 1 large broccoli head, trimmed into florets and blanched. 4 bacon slices cut into lardons and fried. 100 grams of cheddar cheese, grated. 1 onion, peeled and finely diced. 2 eggs, hard boiled, shelled and finely chopped. 1 vegetable stock cube. 150 ml of milk. 30 grams of butter. 30 grams of plain flour. 20 ml of olive oil. 3 slices of white bread turned into breadcrumbs, 1 bunch of parsley washed and chopped, 4 medium-sized baking potatoes baked and halved, and finally salt, pepper and smoked paprika. First of all, we need to make basically just a nice cheese and onion sauce. So what we're going to do is take a medium-sized saucepan onto the heat, and into there we're going to go with our butter. So just straight in and let that start to melt down. Once that's melted down, we're going to go with some onions, which I've already finely diced just for ease today, but again, you can do that at home too. It's the kind of recipe that you can get organised the night before, get it into the fridge and cook it when you come home from tea. So it's a really quick and easy one, this one. Okay, so wait for the butter to melt down there. Once that's melted down, just takes a second or two, we can go with our onions. Now we don't want to fry these as if they're going into a hot dog, we just want to soften down. So again, just gently soften them down there in that heat. You can get a whisk in the pan, there's not a problem at all. A lot of people panic about using wooden spoons and spatulas and whisks, but at the end of the day, it's your pan, your whisk, you can do it whichever way you like. So as that butter melts down, cut all the onions and you'll hear them start to sizzle and fry in a second, but with no colour, remember. While that's on the go, we can go with a little bit of salt and pepper too, so just a little pinch, just to season, like this. And that's just starting to melt down the onions and the butter now. So at that point, we can add our flour. So about 30 grams of flour. In we go. That's plenty. And then the flour and the onions and the butter all start to come together, which I shall show you in just a second. So it's almost, it's like a lumpy paste. There we go. So as you can see, it's just nicely cooking down the flour. We don't want the flour to taste floury as you would think. So just having it in there for about another minute, so all them kind of little grains of flour burst and explode, will help our sauce tremendously, so it's not going to taste, like I say, floury. Other things to go in, we've got to think about flavours like vegetables. So vegetables, what it's all about, this recipe. So a little bit of vegetable stock into there, or stock cube, and also cheese. So we've got some lovely grated cheddar cheese to go in. In that goes too. Again, keep it all stirring around, keep it on that medium heat so it doesn't get too hot and burn on you. And then as the cheese melts down and the stock cube disperses, we can then start to add our milk. Combine all that together, so all the cheese, the onion, the vegetable stock turns into a lovely sauce, as you'll see there. Just a little bit more heat, get it nice and hot. So we've got all the milk in now and the sauce is just starting to come to the point where it's about to simmer. So at that point now we can take it off the heat and just leave it to one side for the moment, okay? Right, while that's just resting to one side, we're going to take ourselves a baking tray or a baking dish, and here we've got 2 baked potatoes sliced in half. Sort of thing you can have done in advance ready, so it's easy to do. The next thing to do is we're going to incorporate our broccoli. Now, talking about broccoli, look how lovely and fresh this is too, vibrant and green. This has been blanched as well, so in blanched boiling salted water. And what we're going to do is take the broccoli florets. You can break them down smaller if you want to, and just onto the actual potatoes like this here. So each one is a portion, as you can see. There we are. And we'll do this one and the other one too. Don't worry if they fall off, because it's just going to be a nice big dish full by the time we're finished. But just if you get them on there to start off with, it gives you the idea. And any left, just really fill in the centre with as well. So there's our broccoli. The next thing to do, we've got our bacon, which has already been fried, little lardons of bacon. And we're going to sprinkle these over the top too. So you're getting the idea now, lots of flavours all laid up where we get to the point where we get our crumble on the top eventually. Okay, and don't forget you can get your bacon online through Creamline too, so when you fancy a bacon sandwich, you know where to buy it too. Right, okay, next thing then, we think about our crumble topping before we start putting the sauce on there. So we take our breadcrumbs, which we have here, and into the breadcrumbs we've got just a few ingredients to add. So I've got some hard-boiled eggs, which I've hard-boiled, shelled and chopped into small pieces, you can see there. They're going. We've got some freshly chopped parsley, in that goes too. We've got some paprika. Now this is smoked paprika, so it gives a real nice flavour and also a little bit of colour too, so be quite generous with it if you like these kind of flavours, which I do, as you can see. And then the next thing will be a little drizzle of olive oil. That really keeps it nice and moist but brings it all together. Some seasoning, some salt and pepper, in that goes too. And then we just take a spoon and just bind it all together. So it's quite a light crumble, as you can see, but the egg gives it some nice flavour along with the parsley, the oil, the paprika and the salt and the pepper. So you can see how we've got that lovely golden breadcrumb crumble texture now from the egg yolks, from the parsley and the paprika. Really nice. You'd almost think that was brown bread to start off with, but it was white, as you saw. White breadcrumbs. Right, okay, the next thing to do is we're going to take our cheese and onion sauce, which we made earlier, which is just sitting here, and we're going to pour it over the broccoli, the potatoes and the bacon. And we can save a little bit of the sauce to serve with the actual dish when it's cooked too. So just a little drizzle, that's all it needs, around and about, like this. Keeps it all nice and moist, but that cheese and onion flavour running through it too. Okay, and from that point, we then just take our lovely crumble recipe and crumble that all over the top here. If you're vegetarian, just leave the bacon out. Brilliant recipe. And once we've got all the crumble topping on, that's going to go into a hot oven at about 180-190 degrees Celsius. There we are. And that's all there is to it. You can serve the potatoes with a little extra sauce or with a light salad and you're good to go. Creamline Online, the convenience store to your door.